I watched a taxi drive away with my cochlear implant processor in the back seat. My heart sank as I realised I might not get it back. That moment taught me something nobody had prepared for me about living with a cochlear implant. 23 years with this technology has shown me there's a gap between what they tell you and what you actually experience. 7 things that matter more than the technical specification. In this video, I'll share the 7 most important things I wish someone had told me before surgery, from the unexpected dependency you develop, to why your brain needs active training, to how it changes your relationships in ways nobody prepares you for. If you are considering a cochlear implant or supporting someone who is, I'd really appreciate you hitting that like button and subscribing to see more real experiences from the cochlear implant community. Now let's start with something that completely surprised me. The real challenge isn't the surgery or learning to use the device, it's the dependency you develop and how that affects everything. Your confidence, your relationships, your peace of mind. Nobody prepares you for how vulnerable you become to something so small, yet so essential. 1. Your brain needs training. Your brain is remarkably adaptable, but it needs deliberate practice. I thought it would be like putting on glasses, instant clarity. It's more like learning a new language. Audiobooks whilst reading the text was transformative for me. Your brain gets a translation key. The more you deliberately practice, the faster you improve. Recovery isn't something that happens to you. You actively participate in it. 2. You've been missing more than you knew. That practice revealed something I hadn't expected. Even though communication wasn't perfect immediately, I was suddenly picking up information I hadn't heard clearly in years. One-to-one conversations became dramatically clearer. I hadn't realised how much I'd unconsciously been filling in gaps. It's quite emotional when you realise what you'd been living without. You can't know what you don't know until you hear it again. 3. Listening becomes exhausting work. All that new information comes with a cost though. Listening fatigue is real. I sleep more than I used to. Your brain works much harder processing sound. It's active work rather than passive reception. Some days you just need quiet, and that's completely normal. Understanding this helps you plan your energy and not feel guilty about needing rest breaks. Your family and friends need to understand this too. You are not being antisocial, you are recharging. 4. People expect too much too soon. Speaking of family and friends, they often think you should hear perfectly immediately. There's this misconception that a cochlear implant fixes everything instantly. 23 years later, I still struggle with Greek conversations and background noise. I use different programs, wireless microphones, even live captioning apps on my phone in workshops and seminars. Everyone around you needs educating about what this technology actually does versus what they think it does. 5. The dependency is frightening. But the biggest shock for me was realising how dependent you become. That taxi story I mentioned, my processor fell off and got stuck down the back of the seat. It was dark, I couldn't see, couldn't reach it. Driver just wanted his money and to drive off. Even getting his contact details was tricky. My heart sank watching him drive away with something worth thousands that I absolutely need to function. I was worried sick that night. What if I don't get it back? Will I have to pay for a replacement? My friend spent the entire next day working to get it back, having to explain to a taxi driver why this small device was so important, and I got it back late the next day. The dependency, the vulnerability, that really hit me. Your independence becomes tied to this technology in ways hearing people never consider. 6. Travel becomes military precision. That vulnerability becomes especially obvious when you travel. Extra charges, protective cases, identification cards, airport security becomes a consideration. I always request manual checks rather than risk the metal detectors. What used to be spontaneous trips now require equipment checklists. Your instinctiveness shifts from grab and go to plan and execute. One backup isn't enough. You need backups for your backups. 7. It's a lifelong partnership. All this planning and dependency might sound overwhelming, but here's what I've learned over 23 years. This is a lifelong partnership, not a one-time solution. Regular appointments, equipment upgrades, continuous adaptation as technology improves. But that ongoing relationship is actually part of what makes it so brilliant. Technology keeps improving. Your hearing can get better over time, and you develop real expertise in managing your own hearing. 23 years later, I'm still discovering benefits I never expected. So what would I tell my younger self, knowing about the dependency, the misconceptions, the vulnerability? Do it anyway. Just be prepared for how dependent you'll become on the technology. It changes how you move through the world, how you plan, how you relate to the people around you. Getting a cochlear implant isn't about becoming hearing. It's about becoming someone who navigates the world differently, but more capably. If you are considering a cochlear implant, what worries you most about the dependency aspect? Share your concerns in the YouTube comments and I'll answer from 23 years of real experience. And if this helped you understand something you hadn't considered, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.